Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's three. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Rama. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Since some of you are new here, I'll just quickly introduce His Grace Hari Parshad Prabhu. His Grace Hari Parshad Prabhu is a disciple of His Holiness Radha Govind Das Swami Maharaj and joined ISKCON in 2002. Born in a Gauda Saraswata Brahmana family in Mumbai, he was trained in Sanskrit from childhood and studied texts like Laghu, Siddhanta Kaumudi, and Ashtadhyayi. From 2002 to 2007, he served as a book distributor and organized youth programs in Juhu. In 2007, he became assistant editor at Gopalji Product Publications. As an accomplished Sanskrit scholar, he translated Manashiksha in 2015 and contributes regularly to the e-magazine Shri Krishna Kathamrita Bindu. He holds a master's degree in IT from Manipal University and has been part of ISKCON's Shastrik Advisory Council since 2016. He is married and has one son. With that, we would like to welcome Hari Parshad Prabhu. We'll have chanting 3 times. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And I just want to add one more point. Personally, he has written a book which he brought last year. Hopefully, that book is this year is also there. Uh, that that book is yeah. That was a class that I gave long back. It was on Trinavarta pastimes, and I gave the entire class based on Prabhu's book, which was Bhakti Rasa. So, Prabhu, thank you so much.
So, uh, do we have the remote for this? So I can share my screen. Oh, Acha, dear devotees, please sit in such a way that you can see the screen. All right? Because many of the verses are going to be shown on the screen. Acha, when new people come, sometimes they just walk through in the middle of the, why? So we'll let new people sit behind. But those of you who have come right now, you can sit as close as possible to the screen without obstructing anybody's view. All right? Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Achyuta Chaitanya Prabhu, Manjai Gopika Mataji, and kids, what are they? Kishori. So here is Kishori. Haribol Kishori. So thank you, dear devotees, for kindly being present here today. It's a very good opportunity. I'm very thankful to Achyuta Chaitanya Prabhu, Manjai Gopika Mataji, for kindly opening the doors of their home. And I always say this thing, Na griham griham ityahur grihini griham uchyate. That 4 walls don't make a home. It is the lady of the home who makes the home. So Mataji is present here as the Griha Lakshmi. She is the lady of the home. And the home is beautiful because of her presence. So thank you, Mataji, for it is. And thank you, Prabhu. Your role is most important in making the home. So thank you so much also to Prabhu, dear devotees. And I'm very thankful to each and every one of you who has kindly come here today. We are going to have a wonderful discussion, dear devotees, and today's topic is right on the screen. All right, dear devotees, we are going to understand fundamentals of what? Bhakti Ras. On the screen, you can see there are 9 rasas displayed, and I will tell you each and every one of the rasa. You have to repeat after me, all right? These are rasas from the material world, but they are used as a reference point. And then we'll also discuss Bhakti rasas, but these are the rasas that Bharat Muni described in his Natya Shastram. All right? And the first rasa, top left, please repeat after me, Shringar Ras. Shringar is romance, dear devotees. All right, you can see in the eyes. Second ras, dear devotees, please repeat, Hasya Ras. What is Hasya, dear devotees? Humor. All right, Hasya Ras, laughter. Third ras, dear devotees, please repeat. Raudra ras. What is Raudra, dear devotees? Anger. All right. Then middle row, first, please repeat. Karun ras. Karun is piteousness. All right. You feel sad, piteous. So this is Karun ras. Middle, dear devotees, please repeat after me. This is Bibhatsa ras. Bibhatsa, dear devotees, is disgust. All right. Yeah, disgust, repulsion. All right. Right hand side, dear devotees, please repeat. Bhayanak ras. Bhayanak is horror. All right. Below row, left hand side, please repeat. Veer ras. What is Veer ras, dear devotees? Chivalry. All right. In the middle, Adbhut ras. What is Adbhut ras, dear devotees? Wonder. And Adbhut ras is characterized by one statement. Wow. You know, how can you characterize Adbhut ras? Wow. So Adbhut ras. And on the bottom right, dear devotees, Shantaras. Shantaras is neutrality, the feeling of merging with the impersonal Brahman. These 9 rasas were described in the Natya Shastram of Bharat Muni. Today we are not going to speak about these 9 material rasas, but we are going to understand which rasa, dear devotees? Bhakti ras. We are going to make an attempt to understand Bhakti ras fundamentals. All right. You'll have to pay close attention because some technicalities will be discussed, but then we'll go and relish some of the actual Bhakti ras. We'll make an attempt to do that. But before we do that, it is Shishta Parampara, tradition established by the previous great acharyas, that we should perform Mangalacharan. Most of us know these verses. You can kindly sing along with me. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Soyam Rupah Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. So dear devotees, welcome once again to the program. I am very happy to have all of you here. Also, before we begin the program is about understanding concepts of, understanding fundamentals of Bhakti Ras, dear devotees. And how many of you have heard the term Bhakti Ras? Please raise your hands. All right, almost all of you have heard the term Bhakti Ras. Before I begin speaking on Bhakti Ras, I would like to begin with a statement by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada says something about Bhakti Ras, and I will show it on the screen, dear devotees. Please see what Srila Prabhupada says about Bhakti Ras. So, Prabhu, you have a loud enough voice? Yes, loudly. Can you read what Srila Prabhupada says? Oh, you have a mic? Take it, Prabhu. Okay, you have assistance, Prabhu. Okay.
Adoption of Bhakti Rasa or Krishna consciousness will immediately bring one to an auspicious life, free from anxieties, and will bless one with transcendental existence, thus minimizing the value of liberation. Bhakti Rasa itself is sufficient to produce a feeling of liberation, but it attracts the attention of the Supreme Lord, Krishna.
Dear devotees, Srila Prabhupada gives a very important statement about Bhakti Ras. Please hear carefully. Adoption of Bhakti Ras, or what is the translation of Bhakti Ras that Srila Prabhupada does? Dear devotees, the direct translation of Bhakti Ras is Krishna consciousness. And we are in the society of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So dear devotees, the name of the society is based on Bhakti Ras. Believe it or not, when Srila Prabhupada named the society International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and he was asked, how did you name the society in this way? What was the inspiration behind naming the society International Society for Krishna Consciousness? So Srila Prabhupada quoted a verse by Srila Rupa Goswami, and many of you might have heard this verse. Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Matihi Kriyatam Yadi Kutopi Labhyate Tatra Laulyamapi Mulyam Ekalam Janma Koti Sukritairna Labhyate. For those of you who have not heard this verse, Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Matihi. The meaning of this verse is Matihi, an intelligence which is fully soaked in Bhakti Ras related to Shri Krishna. So actually the name of our society is International Society for Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Matihi. This is actually the technical name of the society. And that is the verse from which Srila Prabhupada gave name to our society, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And Srila Prabhupada says, Bhakti Ras or Krishna consciousness will immediately, I have highlighted immediately, bring one to an auspicious life, free from anxieties, and will bless one with transcendental existence, thus minimizing the value even of liberation, dear devotees. So how many of us want to feel immediate happiness in our life? Please raise your hands. Wonderful. Huh? Who doesn't want immediate happiness? Huh? Hare Krishna. Please come. So many of us wish to experience immediate happiness in our life, and this Bhakti Ras has the capability of producing immediate happiness in our lives. Today we will try to relish a few of them, dear devotees. But before we do that, dear devotees, we should also know Bhakti Ras can minimize even the value of liberation, going back home, back to Godhead, dear devotees. Bhakti Ras itself is sufficient to produce a feeling of liberation because it attracts the attention of the Supreme Lord, Krishna. Dear devotees, before we begin, I would like to introduce the concept of Rasa, because unless we understand what is Rasa, we cannot understand what is Bhakti Rasa. Because Bhakti Rasa is one variety of what, dear devotees? Rasa. So first and foremost, we have to understand the concept of Rasa, and after understanding the concept of Rasa, we can understand the concept of Bhakti Rasa. Alright? So let me introduce the concept of Rasa first. Please hear very carefully. In the Sanskrit language, the term Rasa has two primary meanings. The first and the immediate meaning of Rasa, which is applicable in day-to-day life. Can anybody tell me, those of you who know Hindi, what is juice? Wonderful. Prabhu already knows, dear devotees. What is the literal meaning of Rasa, dear devotees? Juice. Wonderful. So now keep this meaning in your heart. Rasa means juice. So this is the direct literal meaning of Rasa. Now you take an unhappy person, you give him juice, and you get which person? Happy person. Alright, that is. So when people come to your homes, the first thing you give to them is a juice, dear devotees. And you take an unhappy person, you give them Rasa. And what is Rasa, dear devotees? Juice. And then you get a what? happy person. All right. Now, dear devotees, in juices also there is not one juice. All juices are not created equal, dear devotees. All right. There are 6 flavors of juices prominent in this world. Now, please hear. I am speaking about bhojan ras. Which ras am I speaking about? Bhojan. Bhojan is food. So in bhojan ras, in food rasa, in juices, there are 6 types. Please repeat after me. What are the 6 types? All right. Sweet, salty, bitter, tangy, astringent, and pungent or spicy. All right, this pungent means spicy. Now, dear devotees, these are 6 bhojan rasas. All the food that you eat belongs to one or more of these rasas. All right. Now, please raise your hands. How many of you are lovers of sweet juice? Please raise your hand. Arre wah. There are some who disagree. All right, wonderful. It's very important that rasa should be one's innate tendency. All right. Now, how many are lovers of tangy juices? Please raise your hands. So we have some rasiks of tang. You're only allowed one option, huh? No, take it. So for every rasa, you're raising your hand. Yeah. Okay. So, acha. So one thing we know that there are many lovers of sweet rasa. There are many lovers of tangy rasa. How many are lovers of bitter? Yeah, there is one. Huh? All right. So after program we should Karela. Yeah. But yeah, so there are some who are lovers of bitter ras. Now I'll ask you a question. I'll take up now, Prabhu. Which rasa did you select? Sweet. All right. In the summer season, which juice do you like the most? Huh? Berry juice. Acha. So berry juice, sweet berry juice. All right. Wonderful. So Prabhu, let's have an arrangement. Okay? I will arrange for unlimited cartons of berry juice for you for the entire summer season. You just have to drink berry juice, nothing else. He is thinking about it, dear devotees. Huh? You said you liked sweet berry juice, na? So why can't you have unlimited quantities of sweet berry juice? So dear devotees, rasa is not simply juice. Rasa is variegatedness of juice. I hope you are able to understand. What is it? Variegated. So at one point of time, we love to relish one particular juice, and then after some time, we relish some other juice. All right. So in the material world, variegatedness is needed. But in the spiritual world, you have one rasa, and this rasa, dear devotees, which I am speaking about, is not juice. This is the happiness that you experience in your relationship with Sri Krishna. That supreme transcendental happiness, dear devotees, becomes known as which rasa, dear devotees? Bhakti rasa. But we will understand this Bhakti rasa by understanding how rasa works in the material world. And then we will also be able to understand how Bhakti rasa works, dear devotees. But before we do that, dear devotees, I'd like to say that I am most unqualified to speak on this subject matter, but still I am trying to speak. There is a verse which specifies my condition. Please repeat after me. Baladapi grahitavyam yuktam uktam manishibihi ravera vishaye kimna pradipasya prakashanam. So you might say, Hari Parshad, you are speaking about a very elevated topic. And what is the topic for today, dear devotees? Bhakti Ras. Dear devotees, that is the conclusion of our sampradaya. Finally, why did we come to the International Society for Krishna Consciousness? Please tell me, what is the purpose for coming to the International Society for Krishna Consciousness? Ultimately, Krishna Prema. And Krishna Prema is experienced in the currency of what? How do you experience Krishna Prema? Bhakti Ras. I hope you are able to understand. Therefore, when Srila Prabhupada named the society, he called it International Society for Krishna Consciousness, or International Society for Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Mati. So Krishna Prem, when it is experienced by a particular individual, they start experiencing one particular thing, and that one particular thing is what? Bhakti Ras. So we have to understand that, but it's a very elevated subject matter. But I feel unqualified, but I still request all of you should hear. Baladapi grahitavyam. From a child also you should be able to accept something. Yuktam uktam manishibhihi. Not only from the learned ones, even from a child like myself, you should be able to accept. But I am giving an example for this. Rave ravishaye kimna pradipasya prakashanam. Dear devotees, doesn't the sun illuminate everything? Yes or no? But there are some places which the sun also doesn't illuminate. Some corners of the room. And in those corners of the room, you may need a small lamp, dear devotees. So I am comparable to a small lamp. The previous acharyas are comparable to a sun, dear devotees. My ability is very limited, but still I am trying, dear devotees. So I'll try to speak on this most elevated subject. Here is the translation for this. Mataji, you have good voice. Please use the mic and read the translation, Mataji.
The wise should honor even the words of a child, if such words are bona fide. Does not a tiny lamp illuminate a place where the sun cannot reach?
So this, dear devotees, is the mood with which this particular presentation is given. Dear devotees, let us begin defining the topic, and that is Bhakti Ras. I told you Ras is in two domains. First is in the domain of food and another is in the domain of Bhakti. Alright? So there are two domains for Ras. One is food, one is Bhakti. Food based rasas you can understand immediately. Alright? And Acharyas explain Rasa, Bhakti Rasa from the example of food Rasa. Alright? So all of us understand food Rasa. So we will also understand very easily what is Bhakti Rasa. Dear devotees, we'll take an example from the material world of food based rasa that Acharyas explain. Dear devotees, Sri Rupa Goswami explains this. Please sing after me. Vibhavairanubbhavaischa Satvikairvyabhicharibihi स्वाद्यतां हृदि भक्तानां आनीता श्रवणादिभिः एषा कृष्णरतिः स्थायी भावो भक्तिरसो भवेत्. So I will first ask Mataji to read the translation. The translation is very technical. And the subject matter is technical, but I'll try my best to make it easy for all of us. Mataji, please read the translation first.
Through Vibhava, causes, Anubhava, effects, Satvika Bhava, effects arising from the mind, and Vyabhachari Bhava, transitory moods, the Sthai Bhava, predominant emotion in the heart of the devotees, is nourished during the process of Shravana, hearing Krishna Katha, etc. Thus, this Sthai Bhava, predominant emotion, is what becomes Bhakti Rasa.
My goodness, what a technical definition. It is very difficult to approach the subject matter. Vibhava, Anubhava, Satvik Bhava, Vyabhichari Bhava, Sthai Bhava. I threw so many terms at you, dear devotees. What to do with it, isn't it? So, I will give you a short formula, alright? Henceforth, if somebody asks you what is Bhakti Ras, so you have to give one reply. Will you repeat the reply with me? Alright? Rasa is Sthai Bhav. Alright. First let's parrot it, alright? And then we will understand. Rasa is what? Alright, chalo. In my childhood, my grammar teacher used to do this. First he will make me memorize something and ask him what is it. That you'll understand later. First memorize, alright? So this is how I learnt in my childhood. So dear devotees, once again, what is Rasa? Acha. Henceforth in your life, if anybody asks you, what is Rasa? Alright, so one thing you will tell. So it is not only Sthai Bhav, but Sthai Bhav also with some additions. So I will explain to you what is Rasa in a very simple manner. I told you Rasa is in two domains. One is in the domain of Bhakti and another is in the domain of what? Food. Alright, so dear devotees, let us take an example from the domain of food so that we will be able to understand what it is in the domain of Bhakti. Here is one of the most favorite foods, dear devotees, that all of us like. Alright, so how many of us understand this Rasa? Please raise your hands, dear devotees. Acha, wonderful. Chalo, So we are going to understand from this particular example how Rasa works. So dear devotees, what do we have in front of us? Please say loudly, what do we have? Are wow, wonderful, So the greatest culinary achievement of the Western world, dear devotees, is in front of us, pizza, dear devotees, and we'll understand what pizza is. When you eat pizza, you experience something within yourself. You experience bhojan ras. What do you experience? Bhojan ras. And the previous acharyas gave the example of a sabji, because in the previous acharyas they had sabji. All right, so I am adapting that example, dear devotees. Today the example remains the same. I have just adapted it to something that all of us can relate to. If I would have given the example of a sabji, some people may like that sabji, some may not like that sabji, so I have to select something which everybody likes, Is there anybody who hates pizza? All right, huh? Yeah, dear devotees, I told you, everybody likes. Okay. So dear devotees, now I want to tell you, let's understand how a pizza is made. All right. So what is the most important ingredient of the pizza? So I expected this, dear devotees. So dear devotees, the most important ingredient of the pizza, dear devotees, is the base. All right. Cheese, toppings, herbs, and cooking on what? On thin air? No. So, dear devotees, what is the most important element of the pizza, dear devotees? Base. Alright, it is the base on top of which all the other elements are put. So, the base can be compared to sthai bhav. What can it be compared to? Sthai bhav. Alright? In the heart, in everyone's heart, we have the potential to experience various emotions. These potential emotions have a technical name. And what is the technical name for those potential emotions? Sthai bhav. And in food rasa, the base, pizza base, can be compared to sthai bhav. Dear devotees, now simply having pizza base is not pizza. If I give you the base, can you call it pizza? No. You need to add a few things, dear devotees. On top of that, you need to add what is known as the sauce. Alright? And on top of that, dear devotees, you need to add cheese and various herbs and various toppings. And is that all? Is that okay? Will we have pizza after that? Yeah. So simply adding all the components is not going to work. At certain point of time, you also need to add a process to bake it, a process to add heat to it. After adding heat to it, dear devotees, when you do that, finally you get, dear devotees, the final output. And what is the final output, dear devotees? Pizza. Alright, and everybody loves. So, I would like to ask a very important question at this point of time. In your heart, dear devotees, think of yourself as eating the pizza which has just come out of the oven. Can you meditate on that? Yes? Okay. So please think about the bite that you're taking right now. What you are tasting, I'll ask you a question. What you are tasting right now, is it the base? Is it the cheese? Is it the toppings? Or is it something completely different from all of this? That is the answer, dear devotees. What you are experiencing is something completely different from the individual elements, isn't it? So what you experience finally is a transcendental feeling which is completely different from the original components. So that feeling in the domain of food is called bhojan ras. What is it known as, dear devotees? Bhojan ras. So similarly, we will also try to understand in the case of bhakti ras. So here we have all the individual elements, but you cannot call the individual elements as pizza, only when they come together. And what is the most important element, dear devotees? Base. And the base can be compared to which bhav, dear devotees? Sthai bhav. Wonderful. Now, once again, I am testing all of you. What is rasa? Wonderful. So, you have to memorize this. Any time in the future, if somebody asks you, what is rasa? Sthai bhav. Alright, so this is what rasa is. Now, we will understand gradually how this works in day-to-day life. These are rasas. You have sthai bhav, you have a predominant emotion within the heart. Alright, for example, I will give you an example of this. Every one of us has the predominant emotion lying within the heart of anger. All of us have some degree of anger, alright. Is it visible right now? No, it is not visible right now. So it is lying within the heart as the main container. So that anger becomes known as which bhav, dear devotees? Sthaya. So just because it lies within the heart doesn't mean that it will immediately start flowing as anger. You have to bring it out. So in order to bring out the anger, you need a few things. And yeah, please come ahead, dear devotees. Yeah. Please come ahead. Yeah. In order to bring out the anger, dear devotees, you need a combination of a few things. Now please hear, dear devotees. Yeah, please come ahead. Can everyone see the screen? All right. Yeah, everyone sit peacefully. We are discussing a very technical concept. Please get this correct because we are giving a very important example. Which emotion was I speaking of? Anger. Is anger potentially present within each and every one of our hearts? Yes. But is it manifest right now? No. So we need to bring out the anger. How do we bring out the anger? We need another component, dear devotees. Please repeat, vibhav. So we need vibhav, and vibhav, please repeat, cause of rasa. So in order to bring out the anger, you need the cause of the anger. So you need two things, dear devotees. First, you need a person who can become angry. Second, you need a person who can make you angry. And third, you need an event which will make you angry. All right? Three things are needed. What three things are needed? A person who will become angry. Second, a person who will make you angry. And third, an event is needed. And then you have the perfect combination, what is known as what? Vibhav. I hope you are able to understand. So vibhav is cause. What is vibhav, dear devotees? Cause. Cause of what? Rasa. All right? So then, dear devotees, you also need something. Please repeat after me. Anubhav. Anubhav is effect of rasa. How do you know that you have become angry? There are some effects on the body. What effects do you see when you are angry? Your forehead becomes stretched. Suddenly your eyes become red. You start shivering. You start as if you want to put on your boxing gloves, dear devotees. I hope you are able to understand. So this is what you call as anubhav. Anubhav are the effects. Some effects are seen on the body. They are called as anubhav. Some effects are seen in the mind. Those effects are called which bhav? Satvik bhav. Alright? And sometimes these satvik bhavas pierce the mind and come out on the body. Alright? For example, getting stunned or shivering or something like that. So anubhav or satvik bhav, in short you can call effects. What can you call them? Effects. So you have cause of rasa, you have effects of rasa, and you have the rasa lying dormant within your heart. But what is lying dormant within your heart, dear devotees? Sthai bhav. And what is the cause of rasa known as? And what is the effects known as? Anubhav or satvik bhav. Alright, dear devotees? Then, dear devotees, also sometimes you will experience what is known as, please repeat after me, sanchari bhav. Sanchari bhav is some additional emotion which rises and nourishes your main emotion. Here in this case, which main emotion are we speaking of? Anger. Suddenly, a side emotion arises and nourishes your anger. Let's say suddenly you also start feeling a little afraid because of seeing the size of the other person. Dear devotees. Now you know, if I have to save myself, I have to be really angry now, dear devotees. Otherwise, I'll get beaten. I hope you're able to understand. So a side emotion, fear arises. This fear nourishes the main emotion. Which main emotion is that, dear devotees? Anger. So these side emotions which arise like waves and merge back into the main emotion, these side emotions are known as which bhav, dear devotees? Sanchari. And then finally, with all the proper combination, you have what, dear devotees? Rasa. I hope you are able to understand. So this is what you call rasa. So rasa is a combination of the main element. Which is the main element, dear devotees? Sai. And the cause of rasa? And the two effects of rasa? Satvik bhav. And a side emotion to assist that rasa is known as what? Sanchari. When all of them combine together, you get the final component. And what is that final component? Rasa. I hope you are able to understand. So this is what is rasa in the material world. Alright, because anger predominantly is an emotion experienced in which world? Material world. Even in the spiritual world there is, but I gave an example which all of us can relate to. Another example, laughter. Alright, so laughter, dear devotees, is hasya ras. Which ras, dear devotees? Hasya. Anger is raudra ras. Laughter is which ras? Hasya. Is Is laughter present as a sthai bhav within our heart? Yes, all of us have the capacity. But are we laughing right now? No. So we need something. What do we need first and foremost? Vibhav. Vibhav, a person who can laugh, a person who can make you laugh, and an event. I hope you're able to understand these three things are needed. And when you are laughing, you will experience what, dear devotees? Anubhav. Huh? Suddenly your teeth will show, suddenly your body will start shaking because you're laughing. I hope you're able to understand. These are known as what, dear devotees? Anubhav. And then there may be some sanchari bhav, side moods which may come up. You may be sitting with a friend and companionship is good for laughter, isn't it? Huh? So dear devotees, companionship is a side emotion which is nourishing your main emotion of laughter. And then, dear devotees, you get finally which rasa? Hasya ras. Which ras do you get, dear devotees? Hasya ras. This is what is rasa. All right. Now, how many of us wish to experience rasa in our day-to-day human life? Please raise your hands. All right. One of the best ways of experiencing rasa, according to the previous acharyas, is to go watch a drama. How many of us have watched dramas? Not movies, huh? Dramas. Not movies, dramas. All right. Please raise your hands. Huh? So dramas. There is a big difference between watching a movie and watching a drama. I'll tell you what are the differences. In a drama, the emotions are played out live on the stage. And therefore, dear devotees, you might have noticed in a drama, seats which are closer to the stage cost more. Whereas in a theater, it is so impersonal, seats which are farthest away from the screen cost the most. Isn't it, dear devotees? There's one big difference between watching a drama and watching theater, is that the closer you are to rasa in a drama, the more possibility you have of experiencing that rasa. Therefore, dear devotees, the stage of a drama is known as Rangamancha. What is it known as, dear devotees? Ranga means rasa. The stage from where rasas are thrown on the audience is called as Rangamancha. So this, dear devotees, is drama. And Sri Rupa Goswami also wrote 2 dramas in order to help the devotees experience Bhakti Rasa. I will give the names of those dramas. Please repeat after me. Lalita Madhav, Vidagdha Madhav. So Lalit Madhav and Vidagdha Madhav are 2 dramas that Sri Rupa Goswami composed in order to help us experience Bhakti Ras. Dramas are one of the easiest ways of experiencing Bhakti Ras, dear devotees. Now, I will give you an example of this, dear devotees. Let's say you are watching a drama. Now I am recreating the drama scene within your heart. I hope you are able to understand. You are watching a drama. Do you know which scene this is, dear devotees? Whose Swayamvar is going on? In Sita Swayamvar, was there a competition of... no. Which Swayamvar is this, dear devotees? Draupadi. Alright? So on the stage, you have to visualize, on the stage this particular scene is going on. Draupadi is there. The actress who is playing the role of Draupadi is there. The actor who is playing the role of Arjun is there. And the entire stage is set up. And Arjun has come because he is still disguised as a Brahmana right now. He is in exile. When Arjuna was in that Swayamvar, he didn't come as Arjuna. He came as a Brahmana, dear devotees. And that was the first time, dear devotees, when Draupadi saw Arjuna. And when she saw Arjuna as a Brahmana, she said actually, she thought in her mind, this Brahmana looks better than all the Kshatriyas here. The reason being, Arjuna was not actually a Brahmana, Arjuna was a Kshatriya. And dear devotees, when she looked at Arjuna, she desired that maybe he should also try. But there were these other Kshatriyas who wanted to try. For example, there was Duryodhan, there were so many others who had come from all parts of India. All of them tried. But did it work? No. What was the condition? He has to pierce the eye of the fish, but not by looking directly, but by looking at a reflection below. Alright? So many people tried, and many of them have failed, dear devotees. At this point of time, Draupadi is experiencing dejection in her heart. All of you are sitting as the audience. I hope you are able to understand. All of you are sitting as the audience. Now, those of you who will empathize, I am using an English term. What term am I using? Empathize. Empathize means feeling one at heart. That is called as empathy. Those of you who are empathizing with Draupadi will look at Draupadi. The actress is playing the role of being dejected at this point of time. Suddenly, Arjuna comes up and says, I would like to try. All the other kings are laughing. Are Brahman, go study Vedas. This is not for you, isn't it? Huh? But Arjuna says, I would still like to try. I want one chance to prove myself. So all the kings are laughing, dear devotees. In the middle of all of them, Arjuna comes in the center of the stage, and Arjuna, dear devotees, pulls out his arrow, and then Arjuna is looking down, and suddenly, dear devotees, when Arjuna is looking down, and Draupadi is looking with great anticipation because she really likes him. And, and there is this moment of tension. What will happen, what will not happen. Dear devotees, suddenly at that point of time on the stage, Arjuna, the actor who's playing the role, he's well trained. He shoots the arrow, and the arrow strikes the eye of the fish at that moment. Dear devotees, put yourself in the position of the audience who's empathizing with Draupadi. What did you say? Wow. Should I tell you something, dear devotees? All rasas have one element in common. Do you know what element they have in common? Adbhuta. And how do you express Adbhuta? Wow. So all rasas have one element in common. That element is Adbhuta. And how do you express Adbhuta? Wow. So he spontaneously said wow. Although there is no actor here, he is Hari Parshad Das, a terrible actor, dear devotees. But still you ended up saying wow. So dear devotees, at that moment, Draupadi, suddenly the feeling that she has in the heart, as soon as the eye of the fish is struck, at that moment, let's pause and let's understand what is happening here. Alright, dear devotees, first and foremost, there is Thai Bhav in the heart of Draupadi, the actress who is playing the role of Draupadi. There is Thai Bhav, and this Thai Bhav, dear devotees, is Rati. What is it known as? Romantic emotion is present in her heart. But simply because romantic emotion is present in her heart, does it mean that it will immediately become manifest? No. You have to bring it out. And how do you bring it out? First and foremost, you will need what? Vibhav. Vibhav, you need causes, dear devotees. The main cause of experiencing romance is whom? Draupadi. But she is also experiencing because of one person. Which person is that? Arjuna. And only Draupadi and Arjuna are not sufficient. You also need a third thing. What do you need, dear devotees? Event. And the exact event. What is the exact event that has happened right now? The piercing of the eye of the fish has happened just now, dear devotees. I hope you are able to understand. And now she has just realized this is the person whom I am going to marry. I hope you have understood. Can you understand that feeling, dear devotees? This is the person, finally, I found my match. And I found the match whom I was attracted to, dear devotees. This is the feeling that Draupadi is having. So Vibhav is in place, alright? Plus, we also need, dear devotees, which bhavas? Anubhav and Satvik. Anubhav, Draupadi starts smiling, dear devotees. And Satvik bhav, in her mind, she is experiencing so much happiness. The happiness starts showing on her body, her hair stand on end. Alright? And then, dear devotees, there is also some which bhavas, dear devotees? Sanchari. Sanchari bhavas are side moods. Side moods, the friends who are on the side of Draupadi, they start joking with her that now is the time, wonderful, you see, he's the man, you know. So these moods, they enhance her mood, dear devotees. Finally, the actress who is playing the role of Draupadi on the stage experiences which ras, dear devotees? Shringara. And the audience who is empathizing with Draupadi at this point of time also starts experiencing a copy of that rasa. I hope you are able to understand. So the audience also experiences which rasa? Provided you are empathizing with one person. Which person? Draupadi. I hope you are able to understand. So if you want to experience Ras in day-to-day life, one of the best ways of experiencing Ras is to go watch a, not movie, alright? Go watch a drama. Because drama is where live activity takes place and Rasa flows on the spot. Alright? So in my childhood, I remember my father used to take me to watch many dramas. Because I come from a culture where there are a lot of dramas going on, and there's a big culture of dramas from the part of India where I come. So I watched a drama in my childhood. It's a drama from the material world, dear devotees. This drama was about a person who is born in a remote village in Maharashtra, from where I come, dear devotees. And this person goes to London for studies, and in London he falls in love with a British girl. Alright, and then he comes back and he tells his father, there is one problem. Father says, what? So I like somebody. Yeah, I also like many people. So, dear devotees, I am recreating the scene. What you are experiencing is which rasa? Hasya ras. I hope you are able to understand. I am recreating a scene. What you are experiencing is hasya ras. And then the father said, "So what? I like so many people." No, no. Uh, there is a girl. Which girl? Which village does she belong to? Pune, Kolhapur, Satara, many districts in Maharashtra. Which village does she belong to? London. So the father becomes furious because in Indian history the British ruled over us for 200 years. I hope you're able to. So, and then dear devotees, he goes, he convinces his father. So the entire family from the village goes to London to meet those people, and they come back here to India. All right, dear devotees. And then there are many funny things that happen. The main part of the drama was all the roles of the father, the son, everybody was played by one actor. Dear devotee. I hope you're able to understand this. Ek Patri Natak. Ek Patri means one actor will play all the roles. So it was a very wonderful experience because you need to have that experience in order to understand how rasa flows. And Sri Rupa Goswami also, in his childhood, in his youth, there were many dramas that were organized. In India, there are many traditional dramas. Kalidas, so many dramas of Kalidas, the Abhigyan, Shakuntalam, Raghuvamsham. Many dramas are there. Sri Rupa Goswami regularly used to watch and organize many such dramas, dear devotees. So, you need to have a culture of relishing dramas in order to understand the culture of rasa. I hope you are able to understand. In the Western world, there are many dramas, but the primary rasa behind all of them is karun ras, piteousness. Because melancholy, you know what is melancholy, dear devotees? Huh? The general negative feeling of sadness is the predominant emotion in Western theatre. But in Indian theatre, the predominant feeling is which ras, dear devotees? Shringar. And Hasya ras. Shringar and Hasya are the kings. Wherever Shringar is present, what is Shringar, dear devotees? Romance. Hasya is a close friend of which ras, dear devotees? Shringar. So please understand, I am explaining some concepts here. We were empathizing with whom, dear devotees? Let's have the same scene and let's empathize with somebody else. Same scene, dear devotees, different painting. All right. This time let us empathize with the other person. Who is the other person, dear devotees? Arjun. Now some people will be sitting in the theater as the audience and they are empathizing with Arjun because they identify with Arjun. So Arjun is experiencing, dear devotees, sthai bhav. And what is the sthai bhav of Arjun known as? Utsaha. Enthusiasm. This is known as Veera Ras, dear devotees. Which ras is this? Chivalry. Because today I will show all these Kshatriyas who I am. And if I am not that disciple of Dronacharya, I will change my name today, dear devotees. Today I will show all of them what exactly I am made of. Dear devotees, the actor who is playing the role of Arjun is experiencing Utsaha in his heart. What is he experiencing? Utsaha. Utsaha is which bhav, dear devotees? Sthai. And then, dear devotees, simply having Utsaha is not enough. You also need which emotion? Do you remember which bhav? Vibha. So Vibhav, dear devotees, is the cause. What is the main cause of this rasa, dear devotees? Arjun. And Draupadi is also there. Plus main thing, what do you need? Event. So that event is the piercing of the eye of the fish, dear devotees. Plus you also need what, dear devotees? Anubhav and Satvik Bhav. Arjun is experiencing Anubhav. Anubhav means he is experiencing the emotions of Veeraras. He is steady, his eyes are fixed, he is not moving at all, dear devotees. These are the after effects. In his mind also there is firmness. I am going to do this. And dear devotees, besides that, there are going to be which bhav, dear devotees? Sanchar. Shri Krishna is sitting in the audience there, dear devotees. In that entire scene, somebody was sitting. Who was sitting there, dear devotees? Shri Krishna. Shri Krishna is saying, "Aho, wonderful, dear devotees." So he is giving encouragement, dear devotees. So Shri Krishna is going to give encouragement. That encouragement is going to act as which bhav, dear devotees? Sanchari bhav. And suddenly Arjun shoots. And then it pierces the eye of the fish. Arjun immediately experiences which ras, dear devotees? Veeras. And those of us who are watching this drama and empathizing with which character, dear devotees? We'll also get a copy of which ras in our heart? Viras. I hope you are able to understand. So this is how rasa works in day-to-day life. One of the best ways of experiencing ras is to go watch a what? But don't watch dramas based on mundane subjects. Watch dramas based on devotional subjects. All right. Many times in the temple we have an opportunity to create dramas. So we should create dramas in such a way. What is the final goal of drama? Education? No. The final aim is that the audience should be able to experience what? Bhakti ras. For education, you can give a lecture. All right. But yeah, drama is for education. No. Drama is for experiencing what, dear devotees? Ras. Alright, so drama is for ras. And if the drama is not done properly, in a very serious scene, if they don't do it properly, it invokes hasya ras in between. Many times you might have seen. Sometimes the actor falls on stage, immediately the ras is spoiled. Alright, so you need very expert, not just selecting anybody. Prabhu, can you do drama? Yeah, chalo. So not like that. You need to select people who have a good way of expressing what on the stage, dear devotees? Ras. Only those people should be selected for conducting dramas, and when they conduct dramas like this, then the audience will also be able to experience. So I gave you two examples. One was of which ras? Shringar. One of was which ras? Veer. The scene was the same. I hope all of you understood what is the concept of rasa. Dear devotees, now rasa can also be experienced in a drama, but there's another place where rasa can be experienced. And another place where rasa can be experienced, please repeat, kavya. What is kavya, dear devotees? Poetry. In poetry, what happens is there is a poet who is sitting, he recreates the entire scene for you. And when he recreates the entire scene for you, your heart becomes the stage. And when your heart becomes the stage, all the characters are there on the stage of your heart, and within your heart you start visualizing it, and suddenly you empathize with one of the characters, and whatever emotions are being experienced by that character is also experienced by us. Alright, so there are two ways of experiencing rasa. Please repeat. First is natya. What is natya, dear devotees? Drama. Second is kavya. What is kavya, dear devotees? Poetry. Alright, so natya and kavya. Natya is known as drishya kavya, kavya that can be seen, and regular kavya is shravya kavya, kavya that can be heard. I hope you are able to understand. These are the two ways by which you can experience rasa. Now, dear devotees, in bhakti rasa, there is one person who is the fountainhead, the container of all bhakti rasas, dear devotees. Who is that person, dear devotees? Sri Krishna. In fact, the entire body of Sri Krishna is made out of one substance. What is the substance that Sri Krishna's body is made out of? Rasa. Alright, dear devotees, please repeat after me the first term in the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Akhila Rasamrita Murtihi. Murtihi, dear devotees, he is the personification of Akhila Rasa Amrita, the entirety of all nectarian rasas. So if somebody asks us, what is Krishna's body made out of? What is our answer, dear devotees? Rasa. Bhagwan is rasa. And the Upanishad say, please repeat, Raso Vaisaha. That he is rasa. He indeed is what? Rasa. That is what Taittiriya Upanishad says. Raso Vaisaha. He is rasa. By he, who are the Upanishads indicating? Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna is nothing but rasa, dear devotees. All the bhakti rasas are present within the body of Sri Krishna. Once you come in contact with Sri Krishna, you can easily start experiencing which rasa? Bhakti rasa. Alright, so it's very important to come in contact with Sri Krishna to experience these rasas. Dear devotees, there are 5 main rasas which are given in the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. What are the 5 main rasas, dear? What is the first one? Shantara. What is Shantaras, dear devotees? Neutrality, the rasa experienced by a person who is meditating on the impersonal Brahman. That rasa is known as which rasa, dear devotees? Shant. Or meditating on the Paramatma. Alright, this is known as Shantaras. Second, please repeat. Which rasa is there? Dasya. Dasya is servitude. Can you give some examples of Dasya ras in Bhagwan's Leela? Hanuman. See, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas also remember whom? Hanuman. Because nobody can beat Hanuman when it comes to which ras, dear devotees? Dasya ras. Alright? After Dasya ras comes which ras? It is not Sakhya, dear devotees, it is Sakhya. Which ras, dear devotees? Sakhya ras. Sakhya ras is the ras of friendship, dear devotees. Alright? Friendship, can you give me some examples in Goloka Vrindavan who of Sakhya ras? Subal, Sridham, Madhumangal, all these are devotees perfected in which rasa? Sakhya. Alright? Henceforth we will call it which rasa? Sakhya. Not Sakhya, Sakhya ras. Alright? After Sakhya ras, which ras comes, dear devotees? Vatsalya ras. Vatsalya is parenthood. Can you give me some examples in Mother Yashoda, Nanda, Rohini Devi, Upananda, elderly gopis in Sri Vrindavan are all examples, personifications of which rasa? Vatsalya. And finally, the king of all rasas, dear devotees, is which rasa? Madhurya rasa. The king of all rasas is Madhurya. And who is the personification of Madhurya ras? Srimati Radharani. Then there are others also experiencing that. Lalita Devi, Vishakha Devi. They are also personally attracted to Krishna. I hope you are able to understand. They also have attraction towards Krishna. But they also act as servants of Srimati Radharani. So this is which ras, dear devotees? Madhurya. These are the 5 main rasas. One of these 5 will be present in your heart. I told you, how do you define rasa? Rasa is what, dear devotees? Sthai bhav. Chalo, wonderful. So the sthai bhav of one of these rasas is going to be present. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did something. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu removed one of the rasas from the sampradaya. Which ras did he remove from the sampradaya? Shanta ras. Because he doesn't want any impersonalist or a yogi to be in the sampradaya of devotees. So Shanta ras was removed. Our rasas begin from which rasa, dear devotees? Dasya. Therefore, the name is given Hari Parshad Das, not Hari Parshad Shant, dear devotees. Otherwise, the name would be given like that. Okay? The name is Hari Parshad Das. Because our beginning is from which ras, dear devotees? Dasya ras. These are the 5 primary emotions. Then there are some secondary emotions which nourish these 5 primary. Alright? Would you like to know the secondary emotions, dear devotees? Please repeat after me. First one, 7 secondary rasas. First is which ras, dear devotees? Hasya. Hasya is the close companion of which ras, dear devotees? Madhurya. Wherever Madhurya is there, nearby you will find which rasa? Hasya ras. So hasya is laughter, dear devotees. Then there is the second, which one, dear devotees? How do you say? How do you express Adbhuta? Wow. Alright, so you know, I don't need to define Adbhuta, You can experience Adbhuta by its after effects. And what is the after effect of Adbhuta ras? Wow. So dear devotees, this is Adbhuta rasa. Third ras, dear devotees, which is that? Veer. Veer ras is chivalry, dear devotees. Veer ras is also there. Sometimes Krishna displays Veer ras. Sometimes his friends display. Sometimes Sri Balaram displays. So this is Veer ras, dear devotees. Next is which ras, dear devotees? Karun ras, piteousness is also present as a secondary emotion in Goloka Vrindavan. When Sri Krishna goes away for some time and the devotees experience piteousness, that is Karun ras, dear devotees. Fifth is which ras, dear devotees? Raudra. So anger is also manifest sometimes. So that is Raudra ras, dear devotees. Which is the 6th one, dear devotees? Bhayanak. Bhayanak is horror, dear devotees. So this horror is also experienced sometimes by some individuals. And 7th is a ras which is not experienced in relationship with Krishna, but experienced only in relationship with the material world. That is which ras, dear devotees? Disgust. Disgust is never experienced in relationship with Krishna. It is only experienced in relationship with the material world. Today we will try to have an overview of the primary 5 rasas. What are the primary 5 rasas? Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. Dear devotees, so let's begin with the first rasa. Which is the first rasa, dear devotees? Shanta. Would you like to have an experience of Shanta ras? No, Mahaprabhu rejected it, isn't it? But Sri Rupa, you're just a sample. I'm not asking you to change your orientation, all right? For a sample. Are you willing to taste a little sample? It is in the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Are you willing to taste a little sample? Now it is bona fide, isn't it? So dear devotees, now a small sample of which ras, dear devotees? Shanta ras. So let's begin, dear devotees, with Shanta Bhakti Rasa. Dear devotees, Sri Rupa Goswami describes this particular pastime of a yogi meditating within a cave. Have you seen an actual yogi, dear devotees? This is a yogi meditating, dear devotees, and you can see by the bodily stature that he is taking his meditation very seriously. Whom is he meditating upon? Can you tell me? Impersonal Brahman. You can know by the tilak. Can you see the tilak, dear devotees? Huh? Huh? Do you see the tilak on the forehead? You'll have to sit here, Prabhu. You can, please. So it is this tilak, Tripundra. All right. So, dear devotees, you can see he is meditating on what, dear devotees? Impersonal Brahman. He considers everything as Brahman, and he is meditating on it. Aham Brahmasmi. I am that impersonal Brahman. And dear devotees, this particular Ashtanga yogi is meditating within a particular cave. This cave is located just outside Mathura. Where is it located, dear devotees? Just outside Mathura. So, when this particular yogi is meditating like that in cave, dear devotees, at that particular point of time, our Bhagwan Shri Krishna is ruling over Mathura, and there is someone who is attacking Mathura repeatedly every year. Do you know who attacked Mathura repeatedly every year? Jarasandha. So Shri Krishna fought with Jarasandha on one particular occasion, defeated and killed his entire army. The generals of Jarasandha ran away everywhere. Shri Krishna is finding the generals of this army. Dear devotees, I am drawing the scene. And Shri Krishna chases all these generals away. Finally, Shri Krishna even wants to see if some of them have run away in the cave. Shri Krishna enters the cave, dear devotees. And Shri Krishna wants to make the announcement that if anybody is there, come out and fight me, otherwise I am victorious. Nobody comes out. Shri Krishna declares his victory in the cave, dear devotees, by playing the conch shell very, very loudly, dear devotees. Arey wow! How many of your hair stood on end? Raise your hands. How many of dear devotees? Satvik bhav. I hope you are able to understand. Huh? So suddenly, dear devotees, this particular yogi knows, because this particular conch shell has a particular sound, and he knows this is Panchajanya. And Shri Krishna is here. The personality upon whom I was meditating upon, that particular personality has come in front of me. This yogi opens his eyes, his samadhi is open, dear devotees, and then he makes a statement in front of Shri Krishna. This verse is in the meter Shalini. I will sing it. Please repeat after me. Sarva vidya dvamsato yah samasta. Sarva vidya dvamsato yah samasta. Avirbhuto nirvikalpe samadho. Avirbhuto nirvikalpe samadho. Jate sakshad yadavendre savindan. Jate sakshad yadavendre savindan. Mayananda sandratam koti dhasi. Mayananda sandratam koti dhasi. He is saying Sarva avidya dhvamsato yah samastad avirbhuto. I was meditating on that Brahman which destroyed my avidya. What is avidya, dear devotees? Ignorance. My ignorance was destroyed simply by meditating on that impersonal Brahman, and I was meditating upon that Brahman, and suddenly in that samadhi something has happened. Jate sakshat. Now that Brahman is present directly in front of me. Yadavendre, the Lord of the Yadus, has come in front of me after many, many lives. My Ananda, my happiness of Brahman, Sandratam Koti Dhasit, has increased by millions of times now that I am seeing you face to face. Dear devotees, he is experiencing which ras? Shant. And those of you who are able to empathize with him will also get to experience this Shantaras, dear devotees. Can you kindly read the translation, Mataji? Thank you, Achyut Kumar Prabhu, for the correct timing. Please read.
Destroying all my ignorance, deep within my impersonal samadhi, there was an unprecedented joy. However, the Lord of the Yadavas, Krishna, is now visible to me face to face, thereby increasing the joy of my samadhi by millions of times.
So you may read this verse in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, but it's very important to draw the scene. I hope you are able to understand. Simply if you read the verse, my ignorance was destroyed in samadhi and now I saw Krishna face to face and my happiness has increased millions of times. Translations sometimes do not work. You need transcreation. What do you need, dear devotees? Transcreation. Only when a particular verse is transcreated in your heart are you able to understand what the verse was about. So you may have a translation and the translation may be very nice, but upon reading the translation you may say, well, nah, it doesn't affect me in any way. Why? Because although it has been translated, it has not been transcreated. So transcreation is often done on a stage in a drama, or transcreation can be done when somebody is expressing it as a kavya, as poetry. So you need live transcreation for the rasa to flow. I hope you are able to understand. So this is how. This is which ras, dear devotees? Shantaras. Now we have to move ahead to which ras, dear devotees? Dasya ras. And I told you, I asked you who is the example of Dasya ras, and all of you gave one name. Which name, dear devotee? Hanuman. So let's take the example of Sri Hanuman, dear devotees. Sri Hanuman, after the war at Lanka was won, and Bhagwan came along with all the residents of all the monkeys. He came back to Ayodhya and he was coronated as the king. Sri Ram was coronated as the king. After he was coronated as the king, one fine day, before everybody is sent away back to their kingdom, he invites all of them in the sabha. What is sabha, dear devotees? Assembly. In the assembly, Bhagwan Sri Ram, and you have to draw this scene in your heart, Bhagwan Sri Ram is looking at everybody and he wants to give a gift to everybody. Alright? So he invites Sugriv and he gives a certain gift to Sugriv. Then he invites Angad. Angad is whose son, dear devotees? Bali. So Bali's son, he gives another gift from the treasury to Angad, because all of them helped him. Finally, there is one person remaining who is yet to receive a gift. Who is that, dear devotees? Achha, Hanuman is yet to receive a gift. So Sita Devi indicates to Bhagwan Ram, looks at his necklace, and she says, your personal necklace you should give to Hanuman, pearl necklace. So dear devotees, Bhagwan Ram at that point of time calls Hanuman, and then Bhagwan Ram gives him his personal necklace. All other gifts were given from the treasury, but for Hanuman, Bhagwan Sri Ram takes out his personal necklace and Bhagwan Sri Ram gives him his personal necklace. At this point of time, Bhagwan Ram asks him, is there anything else that you want from me? And dear devotees, please tell me, does Hanuman want the necklace? So at that point of time, Hanuman tells exactly what he wants. This is the verse. Please repeat after me. Hanuman pitam praha natva ramam prahrishtadhi tvannama smarato rama natripyati mano mama यावस्थास्यति ते नाम लोके तावत् कलेवरम् मम तिष्ठतु राजेन्द्र वरोऽयं मेऽभिकाङ्क्षितः Hanuman apitam praha natva. Hanuman bowed down in front of Bhagwan. Can you see here, dear devotees? Hanuman bowing down in front of. Hanuman is holding something in his hand. Can you see what Hanuman is holding in his hand? Pearl necklace. It's the exact painting of the pastime, dear devotees. Hanuman is holding a pearl necklace in his hand. He bows down. Hanuman apitam praha natva ramam, praying to Bhagwan prahirshtadi with a greatly happy heart. And he says, Bhagwan, I want something from you. Please hear. Tvannama smarato Rama na tripyati mano mama. My mind is never satisfied while uttering your name. I feel that I should continue to utter your name. I never feel satisfied with uttering your name. Can you give me one thing, Bhagwan? And if you would be in Bhagwan's position, what would you say? Can you give me something? Bolo? Of course. Yavat sthasyati te nama loke tavat kalevaram. As long as your naam exists in this world, in this material world, till that time I want to stay here. I don't want to go back. As long as your naam is present in this world, I want to stay here. Dear devotees, can you please try to explain to me why Hanuman says like this? He can? He can serve the name? Okay. That's a good ISKCON line of thought, isn't it? He wants proximity to Ram. He wants proximity. So proximity he can have in the spiritual world. Alright. Okay. Dear devotees, please hear carefully. A person's identity in this world is fully gone not when the person is gone. A person's identity in the world is gone when that person's name is gone. I hope you're able to understand. There are many people who are very great, they died, but still we remember them. So what has remained behind? Their name. So a person's identity in this world is present as long as their what is present? Name. But Bhagavan is such that his identity will remain till the end of creation. Only when everything is destroyed, then that identity will disappear. Bhagavan, I want to ensure one thing. As long as your naam is present, till that time your identity is there. And till that time your pastimes are also there. And I will only return back once your pastimes are over. I will only go back once you have fully gone back. And when will you fully go back? When your name is no longer present in this universe. Till that time I wish to be here. This is beyond going back home, back to Godhead. Isn't it, dear devotees? Many people want to go back home, back to Godhead. But this is Sri Hanuman, Prema. As long as your naam exists, I wish to stay here. Varo yam me bhikangshita. This is the benediction I desire. Mataji, please read the translation.
When Sri Ram gifted a brilliant necklace to him and asked him for a benediction, Sri Hanuman bowed down to him and spoke with an overjoyed heart. Sri Ram, as I uttered your name, my mind is never fully satisfied. Please give me the benediction that as long as your naam exists in this world, let my body too reside here.
Did Bhagavan say yes to it? Yes. And is Sri Hanuman present in the world today? Yes. So this is Prema, dear devotees. It doesn't expect going back home, back to Godhead. Prema is beyond going back home, back to Godhead. What is Prema about, dear devotees? In one line, in one sentence, what is Prema about? Selfless love is a translation. Wonderful. Do what the Lord wants. Okay, that is following the order. What is Prema about? Okay. Okay. You are closer. Your good name, Prabhu? Anitish. Dear devotees, can you please repeat after me? Prema is sacrificing one's own happiness for Bhagavan's happiness. That is Prema, isn't it? That Prema in Dasya Ras is manifest in whom, dear devotees? Sri Hanuman. Now we'll move to the third Ras, dear devotees. Which Ras, dear devotees? Sakhya Ras. Acha. Thoda we will have humor, okay? Because I don't want to keep it so serious all the time, okay? This was, see, even though it was serious, did you experience some happiness in your heart? Rasa has the nature, it changes unhappy events into happy events. It changes unhappiness into happiness. This is the impact of rasa. I'll give you a small example. In my childhood, I saw a Ramayana drama. In the Ramayana drama, there was Bharat Milap. You know what is Bharat Milap? Bhagwan comes to the forest. Bharat comes to the forest to convince whom? Sri Ram to come back to the kingdom. And Bharat tries everything to convince. But does Sri Ram agree to it? No. And then, dear devotees, after trying everything, Bharat then requests, I will not sit on the throne. I want your footwear so that I will keep it on the throne. And I will live like a tapasvi. I will live like a yogi, ascetic in the forest. Just outside the borders of the kingdom I will live, and your footwear will decorate the simhasan, the throne. And dear devotees, when Bhagwan Ram agrees to give his footwear, and he puts the footwear on his head, and Bharat turns in the direction of Ayodhya. At that point of time, everybody, all the residents of Ayodhya start crying. You know why, dear devotees? Because that turning in the direction of Ayodhya indicates something. What does it indicate, dear devotees? Bhagwan is not going to come for 14 years. At that moment, dear devotees, in the audience, there were many people crying. And the person next to you, you can ask him, why are you crying? Your brother is right next to you. Isn't it? Huh? Your brother is sitting right next to you. Why are you crying? Because I empathize. Empathize with whom in this case? Bharat. So because the emotions that Bharat is feeling, he is also feeling, and therefore he is experiencing one ras, Karun ras. Which ras, dear devotees? Karun ras. Karun ras is being experienced. Acha, when the drama is over, everybody comes out and says, oh, wonderful drama. I would love to watch it again. Arey, but was it happiness or sadness? What was there? And after coming out, he said, wonderful drama. I'd love to watch it again. Dear devotees, Ras has a nature, it turns unhappy events into joy. I hope you are able to understand. This is the nature of Rasa. So, forget about unhappy events. Now we will deal with happy events directly. What to speak of happy events? Alright, this is which Ras, dear devotees? Sakhya. Sakhya, our Bhagwan is lifting which hill, dear devotees? Govardhan hill. Acha, wonderful, dear devotees. And all the Sakhas are there nearby, dear devotees. Alright? And then the Sakha speaks something. Sri Rupa Goswami gives in the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. The verse is in the meter Shardul Vikriditam, same as Shad Goswami Ashtakam. Can we sing together? Yes, alright. We'll save time and sing together. Okay, chalo, let's sing together. उन्निद्रस्य ययुस्तवात्र विरतिं सप्तक्षपास्तिष्ठतो हन्तश्रान्त इवासि निक्षिपसखे श्रीदामपाणौ गिरिम् आधिर्विद्यति नस्त्वमर्पय करे किं वा क्षणं दक्षिणे दोष्णस्ते करवामकाममधुना सव्यस्य संवाहनम्. So Bhagwan happily lifts the Govardhan hill. He lifted for how many days? 7 days, 7 nights, dear devotees. Entire package. 7 nights, 7 days. So Bhagwan lifted which hill, dear devotees? Govardhan hill. So Bhagwan lifted Govardhan hill for 5-6 days, nothing. Bhagwan did nothing. Then Bhagwan wanted to play some leela with the sakhas. So after 6th day, dear devotees, our Bhagwan suddenly yawned on the 7th day, as if he is tired. So the sakhas are starting. Unnidrasya yayustavatra viratim. Unnidrasya, Hare Krishna. Nidra. You know, what is Nidra, dear devotees? Are you feeling little asleep? Krishna, you're feeling little asleep. Don't lie, Krishna. You tell me the truth. Saptakshapas tishthato, 7 nights passed. And we used to sleep at night, but Krishna, you didn't sleep at night. We all took turns and slept, but you didn't sleep. Anta alas, Shranta Ivasi, you look tired now. Nikshipa Sakhe, Sri Dama Panau Girim. Krishna, can you do something? Sri Dam is most powerful. For some time, give the hill to Sri Dam. Sridham, raise your hand, chalo. Sridham is ready with both hands, dear devotees. So at that point of time, Sridham Pano Girim, give that hill in the hands of Sridham. Acha, the two things are going on here simultaneously. You have to understand the undercurrents of the verse, alright? The Sakhas know that Sridham doesn't have the capacity, alright? They know. So, on one hand, they are trying to convince Krishna, on another hand, they are making a sarcastic comment on Sridhama, their devotees. They are making fun of Sridhama. In a big group of friends, if you have a friend who is little, thoda, even, so, so, so you go, for example, you go to a gym with a few friends. There is this one friend is like this, and that 100 kg weight, this one will lift. So similar situation. I hope you are able to understand. So Sridhama Pano Girim, Krishna, give it in the hands of this Sridhama. Sridhama is like this, dear devotee. So Krishna starts laughing at that point of time. Their object is achieved. They wanted to make Krishna little laugh at that point. Adhir vidyati nastvamarpaya kare. Now the serious message. Krishna, Adhir vidyati. Our heart is aching because you are holding the hill for 7 days. Arpaya kare kim vakshanam dakshine. Or else can you do one thing? At least from your left hand, can you shift the hill on which hand? Right hand. Why shift on right hand? Because if you shift your hill on right hand, your left hand will be empty, alright? And doshnaste karvam, and then left hand. We will take your left hand and we'll massage your left hand little bit, isn't it? He's very humble, isn't it? So, doshnaste karvam, we will massage your left hand for some time. Isn't it? Kama maduna samvyasya samva, left hand we will massage. Thoda. Give one opportunity, Krishna. Isn't it? Dear devotees, this is which ras, dear devotees? Sakhya. Right? Many mixed emotions are there in this one. Alright? So, what we are experiencing now is not exactly rasa. We are experiencing small traces of it. Because to experience rasa, you need a very expert person. I hope you are able to understand. We are beginning, little small traces we may be feeling in our heart. Alright? So, when the conch shell blew, many of you experienced one standing of hair on the end, isn't it? So, dear devotees, when you properly are able to experience rasa, at that point of time, the after effects will also come. But right now, this is a small beginning. I hope you are able to understand. Unless we have a small beginning, we will never understand the culture. And so, it's very important to understand the culture. And this is Sakhiras, dear devotees. Mataji, please read the translation.
Dear friend, 7 days have passed and you've not slept. Alas, you appear to be very tired. Please hand over this hill now to Sridham. Agitation has overtaken our hearts. At least for a moment, shift that hill to your right hand so that we can freely massage that left hand of yours.
Alright, so dear devotees, this is an example of which Bhakti Ras? Sakhya. Right? Next, dear devotees, comes which ras, dear devotees? Vatsalya. Alright, Vatsalya Bhakti Ras, dear devotees. Our Bhagavan Sri Krishna, he at night when he goes to sleep, his sleeping is not peaceful. Alright? Every night something or the other is going on. Alright? So one particular night our Bhagavan goes to sleep. In the middle of the night our Bhagavan is blabbering in sleep. Alright? How many of you have seen children blabbering in sleep? Many. So Bhagavan is also same. Acha. Blabbering is a sign of perfection or imperfection? Don't be hesitant to speak. Speak loudly. Dear devotees, blabbering is a sign of what? Imperfection. So how many of you want to fall in love with an imperfect Bhagavan? Please raise your hands. Arey wah. Sri Rupa Goswami has said in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Bhagavan has 18 main imperfections. How many imperfections? 18. Ashtadasha Mahadoshai. There are 18 major imperfections. Yeah. Minor, there are unlimited. Alright? But major, how many are there, dear devotees? 18. Acha, how many of you want to fall in love with a Bhagavan who never lies, who never makes mistakes, who always speaks the truth? Please raise your hand. Ram Navami is coming up. All right, huh? Acha, how many want to fall in love with the Bhagavan who constantly lies, makes mistakes, cries falsely? Please raise your hands. Dear devotee, Acha, you are both for both your raise. Ishtadev is only one, Prabhu. It cannot be two. All right, but anyways, our Bhagavan is sleeping in the middle of the night. Suddenly, in the middle of the night, Bhagavan gets up and starts blabbering, because that morning he saw Nanda Maharaj is preparing for some fire sacrifice, and he asked Nanda Maharaj, "This is fire sacrifice for whom? Do you know whose fire sacrifice this was?" Indra. Who is Indra? Are you don't know Indra? He is the ruler of Swarga. Acha. That night, he is blabbering in his sleep, dear devotees. All right, huh? Meter is Shardul Vikriditam, same as Shad Goswami Ashtakam. Let's sing together, dear devotees. Shambho Swagatamasya Tamita Ito Vamena Padmodbhava Kraunchare Kushalam Sukham Surapate Vete Shano Drishyase Itham Swapna Gatasya Kaitavaripo Shrutva Jananya Gira Kim Kim Balaka Jalpasityanuchitam Thu Thut Kritam Patuva. The middle of the night, Bhagavan is sleeping next to Mother Yashoda. In the middle of the night, he starts blabbering. Because in the daytime, he asked Nanda Maharaj about whom? Indra. Who's Indra? He is the king of Swarga. In night, he says that Indra, I am king of Swarga. All right, from today, I am king of Swarga. And I am sitting on the royal throne. And in the assembly is going on. Shambho Swagatamasyatam. Are Shambhu, Shiva, welcome, welcome. Sit here. Sit here on my right. Vamena Padmodbhava Padma. Oh, lotus born Brahma, welcome, welcome. Sit here on my left. So Shiva sit on my right, Brahma sit on my left. Kraunchare Kushalam. Are Kartike, is everything okay with you? Sukham Surapate. Acha, Indra, I hope you are happy. After I took away your throne, I hope you are not unhappy with me. Okay? Sukham Surapate, I hope you are okay. Viteshano Drishyase. Vite, oh, Kuber. You know who is Kuber? The manager of all the wealth of the Devatas. So, Kuber, you are not seen much nowadays. Where are you running away? I want all that wealth. All right. Itham swapna gatasya kaitabaripo. In this way he was dreaming. Shrutva jananya gira. Mother Yashoda woke up. Shambhu sit on my right. Brahma sit on my left. Kartike, how are you? Kim Kim Balaka Kim Kim. What nonsense are you speaking, Krishna? Anuchitam. Thu Thut Kritam. Krishna. Thu. So Krishna woke up. What happened? What nonsense are you speaking? Never speak like this. Okay. So, Tu Thut Kritam Patuva. May this act of Thu, spitting, by Mother Yashoda to prevent any ill omens protect all of you, dear devotees. Alright, so this is which Ras, dear devotees? Alright, Mataji, please read the translation. This is from Padyavali.
Shiva, welcome. Sit down. Brahma, you sit at my left. Kartikeya, auspiciousness to you. Indra, happiness to you. Kuvera, what happened? You're not seen much nowadays. Hearing Krishna say this, Mother Yashoda said, Child, what nonsense are you saying? And proceeded to spit in order to prevent any ill omens. May this action of Mother Yashoda
protect you all. Thank you. So dear devotees, Thu Thut Kritam. Alright, it translates into a spit. But the original punch is in the Sanskrit, dear devotees. Alright? So please repeat. Thu Thut Kritam Patuva. Thu Thut So this dear devotees is Sri Rupa Goswami's Padyavali, an experience of which dear devotees Vatsalya. But you have to empathize with somebody, whom you have to empathize with, Mother Yashoda. Alright? Finally, dear devotees, the final rasa, which rasa is that, dear devotees? Madhurya. Madhurya rasa, dear devotees. One fine day in Sri Vrindavan, Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna are standing on the banks of the Yamuna. Srimati Radharani is paying a lot of attention to Sri Krishna. Our Krishna is acting indifferently, as if he doesn't care. You know, most crooked person in Sri Vrindavan, dear devotees. When you understand his character, you will come to know that this person is most crooked in nature. And our Srimati Radharani is very, very straightforward in her nature. She is expressing her affection towards him, and he is pretending as if he is not interested at all, dear devotees. At this point of time, when that happens, dear devotees, at this point of time when that happens, there is a Manjari, she is looking at it from a distance, and then she passes a comment, dear devotees, to Krishna. Would you like to hear the comment, dear devotees? Yes. So this is the comment. This verse is in the meter Shardul Vikriditam. Let's sing together, same as Shad Goswami Ashtakam. Shri Radha Sarala Tribhanga Vapusha Sakam Tvaya Samsthita Hastam Sadadati Tavan Rijukache Tvat Saukhyame Vechati Drishtva Tam Prati Nairapekshami Jane Damodara Kautilyam Khalu Kutra Testi Paramam Dehe Kache Vahridi. So she says, Shri Radha Sarala. Shri Radha is very straightforward even when she is standing. Can you see how she is standing? She is standing in a very straightforward manner. Tribhanga Vapusha Sakam Tvaya Samsthita. But along with her, you are not standing straightforward, Krishna. Your standing is also crooked. In how many places, dear devotees? 3 places. So she, even in her posture, she is straight. In your posture, you are most crooked. Hastam Sadadati Tavan Rijukache. As she puts her hand through your hair, she realizes your hair is also crooked, isn't it, Tvat Saukhyame Vechati. She desires only your happiness. Drishtva Tam Prati Nairapekshami Hate. Now when I see that you are behaving in such an indifferent manner towards her, Jane na Damodar. I don't know Damodar. What to say? Kautilyam Khalu Kutra Testi Paramam. I only want to find out where is the greatest amount of crookedness in you. Dehe Kache Vahridi. Are you most crooked in your body? Are you most crooked in your hair? Or Hridi? Are you most crooked in your heart? I don't know where you are most crooked. This is the translation.
Sri Radha is standing in a straightforward manner with you, whose body is curved in 3 places. As she runs her hand through your curly hair, she only desires your happiness. O Damodara, seeing your neglectful behavior towards her, I am unable to decide where exactly the highest degree of crookedness lies within you. Does it lie within your body, your hair, or your heart?
And she says, now I understood. Hridaye yasya kautilyam Hare tishtati sarvada Deha keshadi sarvam vai Tasyatra kutilayate Hridaye yasya kautilyam. Are Krishna, when crookedness resides in somebody's heart, his body, his hair, everything starts becoming what, Krishna? Crooked. Now I understood. Where is the root of all crookedness? Where is that, dear devotees? Heart. This, dear devotees, some of you were laughing. This is close companion of Madhurya Ras. What is the close companion? Hasya. So this, dear devotees, was a small presentation on understanding the fundamentals of Bhakti Ras. We did an overview of what is Ras, what is the concept of Ras. Ras is found in two main places in the world. First, it is found in Bhojan. What is Bhojan, dear devotees? Food. And it is also found in Bhakti. And in Bhojan, the Rasa, the example from Bhojan Rasa was given to highlight what is Bhakti Rasa. Bhakti Rasa, what is Rasa, dear devotees, in one term? What is Rasa? Sthai Bhav. Can Sthai Bhav alone become Rasa, or does it need to be nourished? Nourished. For nourishment, you need something. What do you need, dear devotees? Vibhav. What is Vibhav? Cause. Cause are two, the people and the event. And Anubhav and Satvik Bhav, they are what? The effects. And also you also need what? Sanchar. The side, it's the transitory emotions. When all of these come together in a situation, you get the final product, which is neither Vibhav nor Anubhav, but it is a completely different product. What is it known as? Ras. I hope I was able to convey this. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Yadatra skhalitam kinchid vidvam saha purayantu tat. Yadatra saushthavam kinchit tad guroreva me nahi. Yadatra skhalitam kinchit. It is possible that I might have made a mistake in speaking what I spoke. Vidvam saha, your learned devotees, purayantu tat. Please correct any mistakes. But yadatra saushthavam kinchit. If there's anything nice, please remember, tad guroreva. The credit goes to Guru Janas. May nahi, it doesn't belong to me. Sri Rupa Goswami is the original personality who brought about this concept of Bhakti Ras in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. So the credit goes entirely to him, may nahi, not to me. Thank you very much. Achu Chaitanya Prabhu, Manjari Gopika Mataji, wonderful family, wonderful home. Thank you so much for inviting all of us. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. So Prabhu, you have to tell me, it's a weekday, or people have to go to work tomorrow? No? So is there time for Q&A or should we pause? There is time? Okay. So you have to tell me when to stop. Alright? How much time should we give? It's up to you. 10 minutes? Alright, 10 minutes is good. Alright. So we have a few questions. First by Prabhu, then by Ma. Alright, let's give the mic, Prabhu. If it would not be late night, I would have gone for hours, but people have to go to work tomorrow, so 10 minutes is good. All right, yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Thank you so much for transcreating so many pastimes to explain the concept of rasa. So, Prabhu, I remember in the original verse that you are quoting, so some Vyabhichari Bhava is also mentioned. So,
Vyabhichari, Sanchari.
Oh, okay.
Sanchari Bhav is which Bhav? Vyabhichari. No difference. So, Sanchari is also known as which Bhav? Vyabhichari Bhav. No difference. All right. That's your question. Okay. Very simple. Okay.
Prabhuji, thank you for your presentation. We discussed so many rasas. Can there be more than one rasa in a person? Like, can it also be like
mixture?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. So, can there exist a mixture of rasa in a certain devotee in the spiritual world? Yes. The technical term for that, everybody can repeat: Sankularati. Sankularati is when in a particular devotee more than one rasas are found in mixture within a heart, but one rasa is prominent, one rasa is not so prominent. Prime example of that is Sri Uddhav. Uddhav has a mixture of Dasya and Sakhya. Is Uddhav a pure servant? Is Uddhav a pure friend? Uddhav has a mixture of Dasya Rati and Sakhya Rati. When it is combined together, when one or more ratis combined together, it gets a technical name. What technical name did I speak? Sankularati. Alright. So Sankula is when there are mixture. Shuddha is when there is no mixture. In Hanuman, is there Sankularati or Shuddharati? In Uddhav, is there Sankularati or Shuddharati? Sankularati. I hope you are able to understand. So in some devotees there is Sankularati, some devotees there is Shuddharati. Whether is possible. One side note, Madhurya doesn't mix with any other rasa. Alright, one side note, Madhurya doesn't mix with Sakhya or Vatsalya, so it will certainly not mix with, alright. So Madhurya doesn't mix, Madhurya stays the king, and the king doesn't mix with anybody. Alright, dear devotees, so this is Sankularati, the answer to your query. Alright, chalo. Yeah, Prabhu. Yeah. Yeah, you raised your hand. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu. So you mentioned that rasas are only present in two examples, Bhojan and Bhakti.
but we have seen examples of people coming out of theaters crying.
Yeah. So rasas are in two things: bhojan and kavya. Short and sweet. They are in what? Kavya. Material world, they are in material kavya. Spiritual world, they are in which kavya? Spiritual kavya. All right. Kavya means poetry that is seen, poetry that is heard. All right. But those rasas in the material world, the acharyas don't really appreciate them so much. Why? Because who is the king of all rasas in the material world? Which ras is that? Shringar. What does Shringar mean? Romance. And the Acharya says, Sri Loknath Goswami has his commentary on Alankar Kostub. He says in that commentary, Prakrita Nayika, Prakrita Nayak, material hero, material heroine, their bodies are so failing. I hope you're able to understand. They don't have the capacity to experience all of this. And why to even call that as a rasa? Rasa is something which should keep ever increasing. Is there any such example of a romantic relationship where the rasa perpetually keeps increasing in the material world? No. So our acharyas look down upon material rasa. Therefore, I made a generic statement. There are two places where you can find rasa. One is bhojan, and one place where you can find rasa is where, dear devotee, is bhakti. Although it is true, in natya, in drama, in kavya, in poetry of the material world, also you can find rasa. But that rasa belongs to which world? Material world. And the acharyas have slightly looked down upon it. But that rasa is also very important because it acts as a platform for us to understand the higher rasas, which is which rasa? Bhakti rasa. So once you watch a drama in a theater, not in a movie, in a theater, you can come to understand what are some material rasas. But when the same dramas are enacted Lalita Madhav, Vidagdha Madhav, then they will give you an experience of Bhakti rasa. Alright? So I agree, there is rasa also in theater and drama, but it is looked down upon by the acharyas.
So a small follow-up. The only difference between those two is like vibhav, like the cause of rasa, like material and bhakti.
Yeah, Vibhav is mainly Krishna and his devotees are Vibhav. So Krishna and his devotees are Vibhav, the causes. The causes themselves are non-material. So how will the rasa be? Material or non-material? Non-material. So that is Vibhav. All right? Yes. Yes, Prabhu. Mayapur, where Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for taking us deep down into the Bhakti Rasa mood. I'm very grateful. So Prabhu, whatever little information that I've received about the Rasa, how do what is your advice? How do we utilize this information to improve our Bhakti?
Wonderful. Finally, I told you, in the very beginning I had specified we have come to the International Society for... And how does that translate into Sanskrit? International Society for Krishna, Bhakti, Rasa, Bhavita, Mati. That is the verse from where Srila Prabhupada took the name. Finally, your aim is to experience prema, and prema is experienced when you are also able to experience bhakti, rasa. This is your final goal of life. We need to align ourselves with this final goal, because the main literature of the sampradaya, if you see all the literatures written by the six Goswamis, which literature is the central literature amongst all the literatures? Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. In the very name of that literature, there is Bhakti Ras. So the crux of the sampradaya is Bhakti Ras. And wouldn't you want to experience Bhakti Ras? Of course, that is why you came to the sampradaya for. So how do you go about in your day-to-day life doing that practically? Practically, we need to have a culture. I told you rasa is experienced in two mediums. One is by watching a drama, another is by reading poetry. Alright? So every day we should read some poetry belonging to the previous acharyas. Alright, so that our mood aligns with the mood of the previous acharyas. Some part of the day we should spend in direct Krishna consciousness. What is direct Krishna consciousness? Thinking directly about whom? Krishna. And there is no better meditation than the meditations given by the previous acharyas. When you start relishing them, little feelings will develop. Then you know that you are becoming an expert in drawing a stage in your heart. And when you become more and more expert in drawing this stage in your heart, then you will be able to place the characters very nicely, and every verse you will be able to relish very... It's a culture. You know what is the meaning? Culture means you have to cultivate it. It's a culture. So the more you cultivate it, the better you get at it. And once you have that culture of relishing verses in your heart, like all the Goswamis, what did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu do for the final 12 years in Gambhira? What was he relishing? Verses and poetry by Rupa Goswami and other devotees, So this culture needs to be present. And this culture is present gradually, then your heart will become more aligned to experiencing Bhakti Ras. And when you become fully expert, and also when Bhagavan bestows prema, at that time you will have an experience of Bhakti Ras. Right? It's important for Bhagavan to give the final signal. Yes, he has done the required work. Yes, I agree. Yes, he should experience. And then you will experience, and that is more than liberation. That day you will say, I don't want to go back home, back to Godhead. I am happy here. But back to Godhead will come as a side effect. Alright? It's not that you will not go. Going back to Godhead will come as a what? Side effect of experiencing Bhakti Ras. Alright? Yes.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. So you, Prabhu, and then we'll go to.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for the wonderful class. Prabhu, I had two questions. The first one is we have heard about Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem. So is a soul eternally given a rasa or does it develop with the practice of bhakti processes?
That's a very big. There are books written on this subject, right, isn't it? See, you have asked a question. The question is already contentious. It's a, you can say it's a perhaps it's a loaded question, isn't it? So, but since you have asked, and I am not hesitant of controversies, okay? I love to put my boxing gloves on and speak something, but I will tell you neutrally what it is. Because I have to tell you neutrally all the points of view. I will do justice to the question when I tell you all the points of view. Alright, so I will tell you all the points of view, and these points of view I will show you from the Veda base, because yeah, right. Alright. Please repeat after me. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabunai Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karah Uday. Prabhu, can you see the screen? Can you read the translation by Srila Prabhupada?
Pure love for Krishna is eternally established in the hearts of the living entities. It is not something to be gained from another source. When the heart is purified by hearing and chanting, this love naturally awakens.
Alright. So this is Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. They all have specified this line of thought. Pure love of Krishna is already present in your heart. You don't need to get it from an external source. All you need to do is perform your Shravan Kirtan, and then it will not naturally develop. Alright? This is where, when you see this point of view, this is point of view 1. Alright? And devotees in our society accept this point of view as the standard point of view. Alright. Does it mean that other points of view don't exist? No. There are other points of view that exist. Would you like to hear another point of view? Yeah. Alright. So at least there is no harm in hearing another point of view. Alright. Let's hear another point of view. Dear devotees, now I am going back. Nitya Siddha. What is meaning of Nitya Siddha, dear devotees? Eternally perfect. Alright. So the meaning that Nitya Siddha is taking here, dear devotees, is eternally perfect. But Nitya Siddha also has another meaning. Nitya Siddha also means the person who is eternally perfected in Goloka Vrindavan. Those associates are also known as which associates? Nitya Siddha. So alternate meaning of Nitya Siddha is eternally perfected associates of Krishna are known as what? Nitya Siddha. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem. Krishna Prem comes from a Nitya Siddha. I hope you are able to understand, which means that Krishna Prem is inherited from a person who is an eternal associate of Sri Krishna. Sadhya Kabunai. It cannot be produced by your own endeavor. Second point of view. I hope you are able to understand. So there are 2 points of view here. First is Nitya Siddha means Krishna Prem is eternally perfect. Second is Nitya Siddha, means Krishna Prem is with the Nitya Siddha associates of Sri Krishna. Both points of view are there. Okay? I neutrally put both points of view. I am not favoring one nor other. Alright? All of you have the freedom. It's a free world and all masala is not garam masala. Okay? So you can think about it. Okay? My job is to tell you neutrally what are the points of view here. Okay? Srila Prabhupada has favored the point of view that Krishna Prem is eternally present. The many previous authorities have favored the Mukunda Goswami, who is a disciple of Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, has favored the point of view that Krishna Prem comes from an existing perfected associate of Sri Krishna. Alright, so both points of view are there, both are supported by very respectable devotees. Alright, so Srila Prabhupada used to say something. Please read the highlighted line, Prabhu.
There is no reason why Acharya cannot differ on certain points.
Conclusion. I hope you are able to understand. This is in a letter to Upendra, 19 February 1972. Conclusion. There is no reason why Acharyas cannot differ on certain points. Acha, but still difference is there and it is unresolved, isn't it? So what should we? I have given you everything. Take both points of view. So should I pause here? Some resolution? Acha, theek hai. So dear devotees, some resolution. So we can harmonize both points of view. Alright? Can you please repeat after me? Okay? All of you. Krishna Prema is potentially present in everyone's heart. It awakens after getting the mercy of an eternally perfected associate of Krishna. Alright? Now we have everybody on the same ship. So that is the answer to your query.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Because I can easily say no one point of view, no second point of view. Alright? So I am not the person who will erase the points of view in our own sampradaya. If they exist, I should mention neutrally. Alright? I am not favoring anything. I try to harmonize. Yeah. Who? Acha, after. You and then last query, Mataji. Okay? Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
So, please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhu. So nice of you to come here. Please keep us in your orbit because we look forward to this.
Thank
you. Without taking too much time on that, let's come to the point. So first thing is, you mentioned some books are written on this topic. Could you name one or two books, please?
Which books?
You said there were reams of books written on this topic, which is so controversial. So what other books are there?
Which control? Yeah.
So could
there are individuals who have written big articles, but I don't want to take individual names, because I mentioned controversial already.
Okay.
So if I mention names with them, so I don't want to put the tag of controversial with somebody's name.
So you let me know privately.
But see, at the end of the day, do we want controversy or do we want resolution? What do we want? I gave you the resolution. Okay? So why get into the controversy? My question is this. I saw both the sides of the controversy and there's no end to it. Alright? So we'd rather have a resolution. And there's a way of resolving things without harming both sides. Krishna Prem is potentially present as a container. Every jiva has a container. And by the mercy of a Nitya Siddha associate, the container may be filled with one particular rasa. That's all.
Sure.
Okay.
So I have a request. After Sixtastakam series ends, could you please start Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu?
Okay. That's a big project, isn't it?
But it is the core, as you
I have to ask my wife, because preparing the slides and all that, it takes time. So I have to ask is it okay with you if I give that much time? I'll ask, but definitely. I have to manage with my schedule, my work, many things are there, but I will definitely try. Because if we want to do something, we should not do light-heartedly. We should do with all the details.
Take your time. But
that's
a quick question.
Yeah.
So you said that Krishna, the element is Rasa.
Yeah.
We also know Krishna element is Sachidananda.
Yeah.
So how do you harmonize the two? And how do you tell people that both are there, they are orthogonal, or how do you explain?
What is the meaning of Sat?
Sat, eternal.
Isn't Rasa eternally existing?
True.
What is Chit?
Knowledge.
Doesn't Ras give you knowledge of Vibhav, Anubhav and all the elements?
Yes.
What is Ananda?
Bliss.
And Rasa is directly what? Bliss. So the in one way.
So the counter question to that would be all the Vishnu Murtis, if the Shiva Tattva will have them, because they also they are personalities of Godhead.
Yeah.
So are they also Rasa? Or they partially Rasa? They are also Chidanand?
They are also having such. They are Sachidananda. Their bodies are also made out of rasa, but all rasas are not manifest in their personality, because limited number of rasas are manifest. Nothing else.
Thank
Alright?
you.
Thank you. Last query, Mataji. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the class. It was a very sweet topic, and the pizza analogy was also nice in understanding the technicalities.
Thank you.
Simply, my question is that why is Manjari Bhav not in one of these things? Because, like, in Manjari Bhav, we would strive to have Radha and Madhav always together. So, I don't know if we can mix it with Madhurya Bhav, and should that be the goal of life?
Wow. That's. Where did you hear all of this?
Well, I heard from Amarendra Prabhu's class that a specific goal should be
All
this.
right. Okay. Wow. See, I have very good God brothers, isn't it? My Guru Maharaj produced very good disciples, isn't it? The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, isn't it? So I'm very proud to have very nice God brothers. All right. So you heard something from Amarendra Prabhu. You'd like me to resolve. Where does Manjari Bhav fall into? Acha. Most people, many people may not be aware what is a Manjari. So I will first give a small introduction. There are some maid servants of Srimati Radharani who assist Srimati Radharani in her seva. What is the name of those maid servants? Manjari. They are younger in age to Srimati Radharani. Are they in Madhurya Ras? Okay. So we will resolve. Shri Rupa Goswami resolves this. Okay. In Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, I will pull out Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu and I will explain what is the exact detail. But this is a very technical question. So, and it's a very elevated question. So I am trying my best. All right, dear devotees, please hear carefully. This is Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu 25128. I will sing the verse. Please repeat after me. संचारी स्यात् समो नावा कृष्णरत्याः सुहृद्रतिः अधिका पुष्यमाणा चेत् भावोल्लास इतीर्यते. All right, dear devotees, please hear carefully. Now, in the spiritual world, the Manjaris, they are having Madhurya Ras inclination towards Sri Krishna. They are having Madhurya Ras inclination towards whom? Sri Krishna. And they are also having inclination towards Sri Radha, but that inclination is in another Ras, that is, please repeat, Dasya Ras. Alright, so Madhurya Ras inclination towards whom? Sri Krishna. Dasya Ras inclination towards whom? Sri Radha. Now you have a condition where there are two rasas present simultaneously. Now, please hear carefully. Shri Rupa Goswami says, Sanchari syat samo nava Krishna ratyah suhridrati. Krishna rati is your attraction to Krishna. Suhridrati is your attraction to Sri Radha. Alright? So, Shri Rupa Goswami is saying, as long as Krishna rati is greater or equal to. I hope you are able to understand. Krishna rati is greater than, your attraction for Krishna is greater than, and which ras attraction to Krishna? Madhurya. Your attraction for Krishna in Madhurya Ras is as long as it is greater than equal to your attraction in Dasya Ras. For whom? Sri Radha. Till that time, any attraction that you have for Sri Radha in Dasya Ras becomes known as which bhav? Sanchari. What is the meaning of Sanchari? Transitory emotion. It will rise, it will fall. It will rise, it will fall. Alright? And Adhika Pushyamana Chet. If the case in which Krishna Rati becomes less and Dasya Ras towards Srimati Radharani becomes greater. And not only does it become greater, it keeps growing. So it gets a special name of its own. That special name is called as Bhavollasarati. What is it known as? Bhavollasarati. So that is the special technical category in which all of this falls. It cannot fall in a, like for Uddhav we said Sankularati. What did we say? Sankula. So Sri Rupa Goswami, for the case of the Manjaris, he framed a new term. And what is the new term that Sri Rupa Goswami says? Bhavola Shruti. That is what it is. It is Bhakti Rasamrita. Very elevated. My goodness, that question was very elevated. It has a very specific answer. But since you asked, and since you asked, therefore I spoke this. All right. Otherwise, the subject matter is very elevated. You need to read the Sindhu, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu in sequence in order to understand what this is. So this is theoretical answer. All right. But I have good God brothers. That I am. Huh? All right. Yeah. Okay. Prabhu, what to do? Offline? ठीक है चलेगा. हाँ. We will pause here. That's a good point to pause. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. शिल प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की ताई गौर प्रेमानंदे अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. But towards Sri Radha, what is your inclination? Which ras? Towards Sri Radha Dasya. Towards Sri Krishna, which ras? Which ras? So then the question arises, which is greater, which is lesser?
Archana Prabhu. Archana Prabhu. Oh, sorry. Prabhu, can I take the mic? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Just a small announcement. Today is Achyuta Chaitanya Prabhu's birthday. Hare Ba.
Hare Krishna. Many happy returns of the day, Achyut Chaitanya Prabhu. The devotees, let's give 3 loud Hari Bols to Prabhuji. Hari. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hari.